Good stuff. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Joe Lock style practice. Let's take right hand in fist, left hand straight, pull back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. You maybe see it's a slight difference in light quality today because I have a little halogen heater on off screen. And the cat is cuddling up to it as always. Let's do a little bit of our Chen warm-up. So we're going into the four corners and breathing. I'm going to zip up. Winter is here, folks. And I'm sure you have noticed that during the various seasons, it feels different when you train. I think warm-up is very important regardless, but especially when it's cold, we just want to make sure that the body is responding. Good, all right, let's change direction. I have a horror story for you if you want, just to reinforce that warming up is important. At one stage I was rushing to get to training in Donegal, and I was the passenger, but my partner was driving, and I had my feet up on the dashboard and I was asleep. I was just shut myself down to get some rest before training, but the twisty roads were making my legs kind of flollop about a little bit. And when we arrived and I woke up, one side of my upper leg was numb. Just whatever way the car ride had happened, maybe the muscles had gone into spasm. But I hobbled into class and I was late, so I had missed the warm-up and I jumped straight into training. And I actually tore or somehow obviously hurt one of my glute muscles. I'm not sure which one because I never went to a doctor about it, but it was an issue for over a year. Just because basically my system had gone into a bit of a spasm and I missed warm-up and went straight into training. So let's go on to movement 2. So that's an extreme version. Hopefully you wouldn't be jumping in with the body not functioning, obviously not functioning right. But even if you feel perfectly fine, I'd say children can do it. I remember doing it myself, that I would just jump into the splits to show off to my classmates, and I seemed to be okay with it. But as we get beyond our really young years, our body just can't perform straight away without some waking up and conditioning to get ready. So you may feel sometimes when you're doing warm-up, oh, can we just get on with it? Can we just do form? Can we just do the full thing? No, don't. You could use, change direction please, you could use the form as warm-up. I do that sometimes, but there is a different intent behind it then, that the intent is to wake the system up and to companion the body just to its waking limits. So doing form as warm-up, you start very gentle, and maybe by the time you have finished your practice, the first round of form, you actually feel warm, so it is a continuously changing goalpost. But in general, I think the safest way is to do something like this, that you are specifically doing simple, repetitive movements that allow the system to awaken from rest. Good, all right, let's come back into the center. We'll take one side and do a little rotation down through the leg. Try to keep those hips level. And change direction. Good, and shake out on the other side. But there's a great beauty to warm up itself. And I think sometimes people think that you're not doing Tai Chi until you're doing form, which is not true. All of the practice that we do in class is part of Tai Chi. Change direction. So I would argue that without warm-up, form is compromised. Shaking out, good. A little trot on the spot, see how you feel. Okay, so let's try a wee bit wider. Let's go open and sit ourselves down. And we're going to do the little wave. Sometimes people call it a figure of 8, but then I think the temptation is to try to draw a figure of 8. But it's more like this movement, I think. See that? But instead of on the vertical, it's on the horizontal, like so. See what I mean? So keep the connection with center to the rest of the body. So everything moves. Keep breathing. And change on the other side. Good. So we want to listen to our muscles, to our joints, for our general structure, and also for our organ function. And you might go, oh, I don't know. But if there's something not right, you will know. If you listen. For example, my lungs aren't right. They haven't been for a few weeks. And there's a connection energetically between lungs and large intestines, and I feel that too, that there is some weakness, there's something going on there. Good. So when we bring our awareness and realize what's going on, then we stand a chance of doing something about it. Of course, we can help our organs to balance within the form, within Qigong, and also sometimes that will mean that we actually have to take action and go to a chemist, or even a doctor, or at least see some kind of health professional, I don't know, maybe a Chinese acupuncturist or doctor, Ayurvedic, whatever way you're pulled. But the first key is to be aware that there may be an issue, and then you can do something about it. So I'm back onto my antibiotic sandwiches, which is raw garlic sandwiches with olive oil and ghee and tomatoes. Lovely. They're actually very nice, very strong. Okay, so let us do our leg stretch. So we're going to kick it out, step it down. And just because it's that little bit colder, let's do our little rocking motion forwards and back a couple of times, keeping the heel down at the back. Good, and feed the weight back. Encourage the front leg to be straight. Encourage the spine to be straight. Just feel into that stretch. Good, pull the toes back, taking hold, same side. Good, relax down, feed the weight forwards and up you come. And on the other side, kick, step it down. Let's go forwards and back a few times. Of course, seasonally there are organ pairs that need particular care and attention for each season. And guess what the organ pair is that we need to look after, particularly in winter? You guessed it, lungs, large intestines. Okay, feed the weight back, hands to knee, Lengthen the spine. Good, pull the toes back. Good, relax the foot down and up you come. So one of the additional things that I'm doing to try and aid this general fortifying and recovery for my chest is humming every day. Let's open our stance, please, and sit down. So humming helps to build this stuff called nitrous oxide. And nitrous oxide is a gas that our body actually generates, which is very important for our immune system, but also helps our muscles, our heart as well, function very well. So there are foods that we can eat which will aid nitrous oxide production. Lots of green veggies, for example, but beetroot particularly. But humming is a very good way of stimulating the production of nitrous oxide. Good, so let's come up. And very gently turning. I'd like you to breathe through your nose at all times if you can. And believe it or not, even that is very beneficial for the production of nitrous oxide. So feel and breathe silently, if you can, through your nose as you turn in your center and wave your hands like water. Very good, and relax. So you may have heard that mouth breathing is not so good for you. It's colder for your lungs anyway. Our air warms as we breathe through our nose. But as I say, there's this extra potent aspect that if we breathe through the nose, then we're getting this nitrous oxide. It is considered so beneficial that those who breathe through their mouth at night and are interested in promoting nitrous oxide have actually taken to taping their mouths shut in order to breathe correctly overnight. I have not tried that and it doesn't appeal to me, but in my waking hours I can consciously, if I find myself breathing through my mouth, I close my mouth and breathe through the nose. Of course, if you're absolutely blocked sinus-wise, then you may have no choice, but there's always the self-massage that you can do. In fact, let us do a little bit of self-massage right now, which will help open our sinuses. And this is a Gong sequence called washing without water. Often used at the beginning of a Tai Chi class, and at the end you can use it as a warm down. So we'll just do a very quick version. We rub the hands together, please, and just give your face a wee massage up the centre and down round the outside. If you wanted to do this but you weren't in a situation where you felt safe to touch your face, maybe you hadn't had a chance to wash your hands, you could still do it but with like an air wash or chi wash, which actually if you try that you'll feel the chi. Even though you're not touching, you are still influencing your life force very powerfully, so that works well. Okay, and rub again, and we're going to do over the head. So we start the same way, but this time we go over the hair and in behind the back of the ears and down the throat. So this is a lymph sequence which helps to unblock sinuses. The sinuses are part of the lymphatic system. Good, so you can do 3 to 9 times with each of these moves. Then we're just going to do a couple of wee pressure points. So one is beside the widest point of the nose, We measure one finger away from the nose, so it's directly underneath the eyeballs, and we can drill in with a little circular motion, one way and then the other, or if you prefer, just get your thumbs in and press, just for 3 seconds and release. Good, and you can do it 3 times, press and release, and you'll feel it's a little uncomfortable. The Chinese call it swan, the feeling. Swan, it's like vinegar. They equate it to putting vinegar in your mouth and you get that sensation. That's what we want. So if you feel, oh, that's not comfortable, actually you've got the point and you're doing it right, because it is stimulating life force to flow into the area. So it has a certain feeling. Now we pinch just where the glasses sit, on just above the bridge of your nose, and just give it a wee circle one way and then the other. And this is called bright eyes, Jingming. The last one was called Yingxiang. So this one is called welcome smell, and this one is called bright eyes. So it helps with your eyes tear, it helps with general lubrication and getting the energy flowing around the eyes to make them feel nice and comfortable. Now we get the thumbs in underneath the eyebrows, and you can circle one way and the other. Over our dinner table last night, my stepson held his nose and breathed out, and the breath came out through his tear ducts. He can breathe through his tear ducts. You can hear it. It's bizarre. I wouldn't have thought it was possible. Rub again. So it's all connected. The breath, the eyes, the ears. For me, if I pinch my nose and breathe out, my ears pop. So anyway, so let's pinch the bridge of the, brow ridge, and squeeze in and release. And you can do that 3 times, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And let's do it to the mid-eyebrows, same idea, squeeze and release. Gently does it. You don't have to be brutal with yourself, actually. If it's like squeezing toothpaste, you're going to be shifting the lymph along. Good, rub again. And we're going to do the opposite now and just gently smooth the eyebrows out to the sides. Good, lovely. Rub again, we go on to the temples. Now this is excellent, this work, for generally clearing your sinuses, and if you have a sort of head in the bag kind of feeling, it'll help refresh your senses and help you feel fresh. Change direction, please. But it also helps to reset your body clock. So whatever time you do this practice, it tells your circadian rhythm, this is the time to wake up. So it's great if you have to change the time that you have to get up. Let's pinch the ears all the way around. But understanding that logic, you'll know that you can do it before and after your class. That's a good time. You can do it first thing in the morning, give your ears a pull. But it's not good practice to do last thing before bed, or even, you know, in the sort of hours after sunset. It's not really the best practice because it could wake you up. It could tell your system, okay, now wake up. And that's not what you want if it's at night. Rub again, please. We rub behind the ears, the little fleshy pads. And then finally, taking hold of the back of the neck, hook around the ligament there, the ligament nuchae, and pull. And the same on the other side, and pull. Good. And you're just really wanting to put a little bit of pressure on that ligament so that it releases, and that will actually release your face, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your jaw, your neck, and your shoulders. So it's a really nice one. If you have any bone wasting issues, you can just go very lightly. Again, just the body awareness of the touch will help things to release. But if you add a little bit of a stretch, you'll get a lovely feeling of release. Good. And that can be enough to stop a tension headache before it really takes hold. Lovely. So we're going to finish that all with rubbing the back. So we rub our hands, take the hands to the waist, bend the knees, and just give the kidneys a jolly good rub. Good. Now traditionally they do 36 rubs, which sounds like a lot, but you've probably already done that, so let's hold the back and breathe and feel into the warmth flowing into your kidneys. Now this is the practice that I would encourage you to do every day, even though I tend to forget. I wish I would remember, because it's one of the best things you can do, really warming those kidneys. And by connecting your awareness to your kidneys, you are recharging your batteries. Good. Release, relax down. So it stands to reason we want to keep those kidneys warm, and therefore we want to keep our bottom warm. You know that old expression, don't sit on a cold stone floor or a cold stone wall, because you'll get a chill in your kidneys. Well, it's very true. So if we bring our seat, if we bring the base of our body to a cold surface, it draws the heat out of our bodies, it draws the heat out of our kidneys, and we can left feeling depleted and quite poorly. So make sure you're sitting on a warm seat. Even if, if it's a plastic bucket seat, put a cushion down, put your coat down, and certainly don't be sitting on the ground. I saw a couple of friends sitting on a stoop the other day, sharing a drink, and I just thought, oh my goodness, you're going to get cold. Don't do that. So keep your bum warm, keep your back warm, and rub every day and hold your kidneys just for best results. Okay, we're going to do a mini stand, just a couple of minutes really, just to get ourselves tuned in and settled. So bring the feet together, please. We're doing Chen style. It's a little different from lock style, but we will get to our lock practice. Let's lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, and breathe and calm. Lengthening those fingers down. Let's release through belly, hips and knees, down into the ankles and feet. Open left, transfer your weight. And just check that your feet are indeed shoulder width and level. Let your toes spread, make sure you feel comfortable. And check posture again. Breathing, letting go. Gently, slowly, raise your arms. We want to feel for the connection of energy between the hands and the body. So you can play a little bit with it. If in doubt, bring the hands a little bit in until you feel that force field, until you feel that connection. Let the shoulders expand by releasing to the sides. Shoulder blades relaxing down your back. Very good. Slowly, gently lower the arms down. And let's cover center for a moment. Hug your elbows gently in. Good, and release the arms down again. I invite you, if you have time after this class, do another stand, and if you can, do a lot longer, maybe even 20 minutes. It's really nice to bookend your practice with standing. I meant to do quite a long stand with you today, but I did the self-massage instead. So, but the standing is really going to stand you in good stead. So do, if you can, do a little stand after class. If not, maybe try before bed, just do a few minutes. But from here, let's just lengthen the fingers down. Center yourself. And open door 5, please. Let's pause level with the waist. Do you notice the flower-like shapes that we're creating? There's this feeling of blossoming in our movements. And I think this is quite deliberate as part of the choreography, but it's true for all Tai Chi because the nature of Chi, let's roll the pastry. The nature of Chi is to blossom. Life force blossoms. Now, when we're resting or not doing Qigong, the life force still blossoms, but it's very subtle. It's just a gentle, endless little release. The energy flows from one moment to the next. But when we're doing this work, it blossoms. And if you feel it in the movements, there is this continuous opportunity to feel releasing and opening of energy. So as you move, feel for that lovely blossoming, that continuous release and open. It is our natural state. There may be some blockages, we may have sluggish flow of energy, but it is still blossoming. If you are awake, if you are alive, there is an opportunity to connect with that blossoming and make it even stronger. Kind of like putting fertilizer on your flowers. Good, so let's change direction with an S shape. And there's nothing to it really. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. Where the energy goes, the body follows. So all we have to do is gently pay attention. Companion our body with our awareness and breathe. So the breathing is the fuel that allows this blossoming to take part, to happen. Good. So turn the palms, draw in. 3 things we want to continuously use. We breathe, we move, and we're aware of it. When we're standing still, we're not deliberately moving, but our internal landscape is full of activity. So that's what we listen to. We feel for what's happening. Even if we don't feel anything happening, we bring our awareness to the silent blossoming of energy. Good. And let's change direction with an S shape. Feel the energy swirling. Good, back to center. Just see how many times you see a movement looks like a flower opening. Lift, gather. Point to the eyebrow corners and open. And direct, or rather connect with the energy. Use the fingertips to focus your awareness, like you have laser beams. And find center. Check posture. Relax into your center. And here we have this little opportunity to observe. Observe the heart rate, the breath, the energy itself. The structures, the energy is flowing through. And again, please. Check posture. Relax to center. One more time, please. Deep breath. Check posture. Relax to center. Good. Okay, circling, turning your little bowl. And turning to your left. Rolling up your spine. There's a little, turn more sideways on. Little choo-choo train movement, but feeling each vertebrae climb the ladder of your spine. It's a very soft, very gentle little mobilizing action. Keep the top of the head lengthening up, the chin slightly tucked so that you can feel each of the little cervical vertebrae, the neck vertebrae, and step. Tiger to the west. Phoenix to the south. snake to the north, twist. Press the palms away from your body and release, lasso, and turn. Look over your shoulder, press the hands away, good. Release, turn back to center, turtle to the north. Fill the back, lengthen the top of the head, chin stays tucked. Stretch through the arms, through the back, through the legs. Release for gold practice. Ready? Step and through. Lock, step back and pierce. Water. Wood, half step and stretch. Big step. Half step and stretch. Fire. Step and rise. Very good. Turn to the front. Earth. Bring the left side in. 6 harmonies. Swing, step through, and open. Back the way you came, up, step back, swing. Step through, open. Keep turning in that direction, martial flowers. With steps. And back. To the other side. Just go straight into the steps. 1, 2, and back. Back to center. For our 7 stars in rotations. Check posture. Relax to center. And scoop. Right hand under. Turn, push the heel out. Left hand to center, release. 8 steps, ready? And 1, 2, 3, halfway. 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn in. Right side towards center. Release left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Finish. Find your center. And close. Just for a moment, observe your heart rate, your breath, your body. Calming down. Well done. Little heel tap and release. Good, okay. I'm not sure if we have time to do the Phoenix on both sides and the Immortals. So, what would you like to do? Phoenix? Hands up for Phoenix? Oh, I think we've got Immortals. Immortals. Right, Immortals, yes, okay. So let's go through the Immortals today. And we're just doing it on the one side. Let's just play through it and see how you feel and dance it out. Just enjoy. Okay. So again, you can have that idea. Think of the energy as continuously blossoming. Energy doesn't just flow. With every present moment, and it's always the present moment, our energy naturally, its way of flowing is to open. It opens and flows. So the movements in Tai Chi reflect that, and you'll feel an opening. But of course, what opens then has a natural rhythm of closing as well. So you can think of the energy rather like our breath, flowing in, flowing out. And the movements in Tai Chi have a flowing in, a contracting, and an expanding. So be with that as you flow. Be aware of your breath. Don't try to control it, just let it flow. Keep your mind conscious of what you're doing with your breath. So mind, body, breath. The three together, there's your mindfulness practice. Okay, are we ready? Check posture. Calming down. Allow the sounds around you to simply flow over you. Ready? Start. Turn to the back, pluck. Step to the side left. Turn to the left, pluck left. Open right. Feed the weight back, pluck right. Very good. Again, I'd just like you to stand for a moment, please, and notice your heart rate. Notice your breath. Notice how your body very quickly returns to that state of rest. Follow its progress with each breath. Everything calms down. Good. And you can ease out of your stance. Well done. Now, I think it was last week, Tony asked, could you stand for 10 minutes between each move? I think it was yourself. And the answer is yes. Actually, that would be really good. If you were to do an exercise, a form, and then stand straight afterwards for 10 minutes, you could observe the levels and subtleties of going from exertion to absolute stillness and back into that lovely tranquil state. If you had time to do that, that would be perfect. That would be a really nice practice. As it is, we've got about 5 minutes left. So I tell you what, because I don't know what your schedule is like after class, let us now do a little stand, and we'll use our stand as our chilling out. We'll maybe do a second or two of warm down practice afterwards. So feet together, please, lengthen up. Chin down and back, release, relax down. Give yourself that moment. And when you're ready, release and open left. Check your feet are level, shoulder width. Check posture again. We want a straight spine and everything else very relaxed and draping. We're going to engage the arms. Bring them up to your best position. And now simply listen, feel, and let go. Beautiful, well done. Relax gently down. And cover center. guiding the energy, guiding the awareness back to the center of your body. Good. And we'll finish just with a couple of wee rotations, or you can do any freestyle work that you want just to get moving again. So once my standing practice teacher, JJ, said to us, just doing a few minutes standing here and there through your day is better than doing nothing for a week and then doing a stand for an hour, just one day a week. And it's so true, because the hardest part, to be honest, of standing practice is starting it in the first place. Once you have engaged in the practice, you'll probably find you can stand a lot longer without even realizing it. You could do 5-10 minutes, because you're concentrating. Time is an illusion. You stand a lot longer. Change direction, please. So even mini stands like that, get into the habit of doing it. Any time where you have a few moments that you're not doing anything else, it's time to stand. Very good. And cover center. Breathe and relax. Feel the warmth of the hands flowing into your belly. And feel your energy is stronger. Good, beautiful, well done. Relax down and rest. So we didn't get through the Phoenix today, but we did some nice warm-ups, we did some nice standing, we did some nice self-massage for Qigong, and we managed full 7 stars in rotations and the Immortals. So I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. It's nice to know that you can do these other wee things. Any practice, as far as I'm concerned, is good practice, and it's good to go with your feeling rather than just ticking boxes and going through everything you've ever done. Though that's good too. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone, and working so hard. I hope you stay warm, get yourself a nice hot drink. But if you have time, another 20-minute stand would be lovely, and that's what I'm going to do now. I've got the bull between the horns. What's it called? Bull by the horns. And I've done my warm-up with you, so now I'm going to do my stand for real. So I wish you a lovely weekend, and yeah, be careful out there on the roads. It's looking pretty stormy out there. Okay, take care, thank you, and see you next time.